Brighton have quietly secured Arsenal's 19-year-old goal machine for a second straight season. And this is not a tidy, low-stakes move. Michelle Agyemang arrived at Arsenal as a child, grew up inside the club's academy, and announced herself to senior football in 2022 with a debut goal against Leicester. That early promise was followed by a productive campaign on the south coast where, under Dario Vidicic, she scored 5 times in 22 WSL appearances and turned heads with the kind of movement and finishing that make coaches sit up and plan. The summer put a megaphone on all of that. 2 goals at Euro 2025 and the Young Player of the Tournament award as England lifted the trophy. Suddenly, the conversation shifted from potential to expectation. The question everyone wants answered now is simple but brutal. Can the teenager who shone in an international tournament convert that form into consistent, week in, week out WSL performance and come back to Arsenal ready to fight for a permanent first-team role? The practical challenge she faces is deceptively complex. Tournament football allows and often rewards moments of instinct and explosive confidence. The domestic grind demands repetition, intelligence, and the ability to perform under a microscope every single match. At Brighton, she will be asked not just to score, but to play within a plan. Time runs precisely. Press when required, make the right supporting runs, and link up with midfielders who vary in style from week to week. Coaches will watch minute details. Her decision-making when defenders close down space, her movement in transition, her capacity to maintain intensity across 90 minutes. For a young player, those subtleties are growth markers more valuable than a single highlight reel. From Arsenal's point of view, this is pragmatic, long-term thinking. The club has world-class competition for forward positions, and the path from bench minutes to trusted starter is narrow. Sending Michelle back to an environment where she already adapted last season is a way to accelerate learning while protecting her confidence. Clubs that invest in homegrown talent want proof the loan system produces players who return battle-ready and tactically sharper. If Michelle comes back with a thicker match resume, with improved finishing consistency and better spatial understanding, Arsenal secure depth and continuity without spending transfer funds. Brighton, meanwhile, keep a hungry forward who knows their rhythm and can contribute immediately to their attacking options. The psychological layer cannot be ignored. Carrying an international trophy and an individual award creates a new baseline of expectation from coaches, the media, and the player herself. That pressure can sharpen focus or distort development, depending on how it is managed. Brighton's staff, having worked with her before, are well placed to balance demands and growth. They can set specific targets, minutes thresholds, expected goal contributions, and progressive tactical responsibilities that expand as she adapts. That structure offers a safer space for mistakes that teach rather than derail. There are real risks on the other side of the ledger. Football is littered with teenagers whose trajectories stuttered because of injuries, ill-fitting tactical systems, or simply a lack of consistent game time. Adapting to opponents who now study her every movement will be a test. Finding chemistry with a changing cast of teammates week to week will matter more than raw talent. Yet the advantages are tangible. She returns to familiar coaches, carries the confidence of international recognition, and trains daily with the technical foundation Arsenal instilled in her since childhood. For fans and neutrals, this story has layers. The sentimental pull of a homegrown player chasing a first-team breakthrough, the tactical intrigue of how a coach will shape her role, and the measurable drama of whether youth success at the international level translates into senior domestic consistency. The simple metrics that reveal progress: minutes played, goal involvement and touches in the penalty area. But also watch the subtler shifts, smarter runs, better link-up play, and calmer choices inside the box. At season's end, those details will tell whether this loan was a necessary step on a trajectory to Arsenal's front line, or a cautionary tale about the gap between youth stardom and sustained senior impact. Right now, the spotlight is back on the south coast. Brighton will provide the stage. Arsenal have provided the blueprint. And Michelle has the audition. The coming months will show whether a Euro hero can become a WSL mainstay, and whether a teenage promise can be moulded into a consistent professional reality. Fans should tune in, not just for the goals, but for the process, because that process will determine whether this loan is the turning point in a career or simply a valuable lesson on the long road to the top?